Major League Table Tennis is in its second season, and on Friday, the sport is coming to Rider University as players battle it out ahead of championship weekend in Philadelphia next month. Joining me now is the CEO and founder of the league, Flint Lane. Flint, I can't wait to hear all about this. Thanks for taking the time to jump on today.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
So, Flint, you're actually a software entrepreneur. How did you end up shifting your focus to table tennis, and when did you first develop a passion for it?
So I started a local software company called Bill Trust in New Jersey and grew it to about 1,000 people over 20 years. Um, and it sold to a private equity firm a couple of years ago. So I was looking to see what was next. I thought it was retirement. That lasted about 3 weeks, and I was bored out of my mind. But I've always been passionate about table tennis. When I turned 45, my wife surprised me with a table tennis lesson from a local Olympian, and I thought I was good. So I show up at his basement to play him, and he destroys me. It's like kind of playing basketball against LeBron James. You're not going to score if he doesn't want you to score. That became that sort of started the real passion for the sport. Opened a local club called Princeton Pong, where people can go and play recreationally. But I was always surprised that nobody had tried to build a professional league in this country. Meanwhile, we have tag and cornhole and pickleball and you name it. There's a pro league. And table tennis is one of the most popular global sports. So I figured, why not me?
Why not? Now, take us through the process of when you first got the idea for this league and how you were able to put it all together.
I guess I was noodling it for a while on what that league would look like. Not knowing much about professional sports, I spent a few months doing some significant market research. I talked to all the major leagues and networked into some executives, and I tried to figure out, okay, what makes a successful league? What are sort of the ingredients required? You need great athletes. It needs to be incredibly watchable to fans. It needs to be relatively inexpensive to pull off. And once I established, okay, does table tennis and can Major League Table Tennis succeed? Will all the ingredients be there for a successful league? We were off to the races. We're not where we need to be quite yet, but in 2 short years, we've accomplished a lot.
Now, the league has 8 teams from cities across the country, from Princeton here in Jersey all the way to Seattle. How were you able to get these cities to come on board, and why specifically those cities?
Yeah, so we are what's called a single entity league. And in single entity leagues, the league decides most things. So we pick the cities. We do sell teams to owners, and we have owners for our teams. But we pick cities based on a variety of different things. Do they have a large population? Are they ethnically diverse? Do they have a rabid table tennis population? And the cities we've selected, including the 2 new expansion cities, New York and Atlanta, meet all those criteria.
Now, how do the games work? Are there different formats? Is it teams? Is it singles? How does it work?
Yeah, so each team comes for weekend action with 6 players. So we have 4 teams showing up at Rider University this weekend. And they compete over the weekend. We have 2 matches on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. Each of the team matches, let's say Chicago is playing Princeton, is a combination of singles, doubles, and a golden game. We have 4 singles matches of 3 games, 1 doubles match of 3 games, and then we finish with something called the golden game, where each of the player rotates in every 4 points. It's a race to 21, and the golden game decides most of the match outcomes, and it's incredibly pressure-filled. I kind of stole the idea from Ryder Cup, where the golfers do the step-aside format, where the pressure is super high because they're relying on their partner to do well. And the golden game is really what makes this a fun team competition.
Now, the league has internationally ranked players. You have Olympians in the league. Who are some of the standouts this year, or are they all standouts?
Well, America's sweetheart is Lily Zhang. She's from California. She's been in the Olympics 4 times, was in Paris, had the viral moment with Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves, where Anthony Edwards thought he could score a point against her. So we have the entire women's USA women's Olympic team is in our league. We have the number 1 player from England, Liam Pitchford, the number 1 player from Spain, Mark Duran. We have players from Nigeria, from South America, from Cuba. I think we have 30 different countries represented in our league, and of course, many Americans. Each of our teams is required to have 3 Americans, so we have a great sampling of athletes both from the country and abroad.
Talk about the event coming up this weekend at Rider University. What can we expect there?
So we have this wonderful fan zone where fans can play on tables, play against a robot, play against on mini tables, and that is fun for the family to participate in. So we get lots of kids out to these events. And then the matches start at 4 p.m. on Friday and 7 p.m. on Friday, 4 and 7 on Saturday, and then 11 and 2 on Sunday. And each of those matches takes roughly 2 hours, and it's quick. It's fast paced. We have a shot clock to keep things moving. We have shortened the length of the average timeout in the sport, so we know when fans come out, they want to see action. They don't want to see standing around. And when we do our exit surveys on our fans, everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how fast these players move," or "Oh my goodness, man, they've hit the ball hard," or "Look how far away from the table when they're bombing away." So, the fans really love it. One of our challenges is getting people there for the first time because nobody knows about professional table tennis as a sport in this country. But once they come, we generally hook them.
Now, the league, I believe, is in its second season. Do you feel that it's grown from last year to this year?
Oh, it's not even close. Yeah, so we've doubled attendance figures. We've, I think, quadrupled online viewing. And again, this is from a cold start. We've accomplished more in 2 years than virtually any other professional sport. We now have a national television contract with CBS Sports, so they're airing our matches every week. We've been on ESPN a couple times. So for the first 2 years, we're very happy. If this was 5 years from now, I'd be like, man, we should have made more progress. But for our first 2 years, we're thrilled. And we have the saying at Major League Table Tennis, brick by brick. As long as we're continuing to make progress, we're very happy.
It's fantastic to hear. Now, can you talk about what you're anticipating for championship weekend in Philadelphia, and what do you expect the turnout to be like there?
Yeah, so big weekend this weekend. We have two teams that have already qualified for the playoffs, the Bay Area Blasters as well as the Carolina Gold Rush, both who went to the playoffs last year. Princeton Revolution is in third place in the East Division and needs to catch Chicago if they want to make the playoffs. So two teams from the East and two teams from the West will qualify for the playoffs. It's being held at St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia in their basketball gymnasium. What we do is we come in and we lay our flooring down, we put our barriers up, we put our tables up. So when people come in, it seems like it's a table tennis arena that we build in whatever city. We're hoping to get, a couple thousand people into that gym. It's a very small gym for the weekend, and then we'll be airing it live on YouTube as well.
Fantastic. Well, Flint, congratulations with all of this. Best of luck, and thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thank you. Love to have you out.